update video of me getting out Section 8 because I flashed a weapon in the video. Yeah. Remember when I said I wanted to get out Section 8? They made it happen a little sooner than I was planning, but that's okay. That's okay. Got the keys already, moved shit in already, moving more stuff in today. Then them hoes locked my rent account, so I could not pay my rent on the 1st, just because they wanted to have me gone within 7 days or have an eviction on my record. Like, it's they just really fucking slow and they haters. Talking about some we watched our YouTube video. I bet the fuck you did. I bet you did. I don't hide nothing from y'all. You think I care that you watch my video? I don't. We don't. Y'all ain't stopping nothing. You thought you was putting me in a bad predicament? No, Boogie. You just blessed me even 10 times more. Just off hating.
Her disposition is going to hold her back tremendously, as well as just being so cynical. Your apartment complex didn't make it to where you couldn't pay the rent anymore because it's anything against you. It's probably because they've already filed the eviction. And once that's filed, they can no longer accept any rent. Otherwise, the eviction will be null and void and they'll have to start over all over again. Let's go ahead and get into the next clip, y'all. If you could like the video, though, it only takes a second and it actually does help out tremendously.
Hurry! She just attacked me! Please hurry!
You said she has two weapons?
Yeah, she has a weapon in her hand right now. My brother's a police officer.
It's a flashlight.
She's brandishing a weapon at me. She's brandishing a weapon at me. 1280 North Citrus, unit number 56.
This is a flashlight.
I would like an officer here or a sergeant so I can explain to them, show them the cameras. I'm sorry, I'm very heated because this upsets me very much. I just went through a DV situation last year and I put someone in jail for a long time and there's a 3-year restraining order. So this does make me very upset.
So you should probably remove yourself from the situation then.
So at this point, I already put in my 2 weeks.
All right.
So, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and see this through with the residents, but this is how she's acting. There's someone here with a weapon, and she's threatening me. She has a gun as well. I need you guys to get out here because there's been an ongoing DV situation with this, and I'm just trying to help the residents get a restraining order.
Please hurry! She just attacked me!
Go back to this part for a second. Listen.
Very much. I just went through a DV situation last year and I put someone in jail for a long time and there's a 3-year restraining order. So this does make me very upset.
So we just saw how this whole thing transpired, right? And she's telling them on the phone that she put somebody in jail for a long time over a DV situation. And based off what we're able to see from this interaction, they may need to go back in the records and they may need to re-explore that case, because there might be an innocent brother out there somewhere who's doing time and it's not justified.
Kimberly?
Do you live here?
I do.
Okay.
Who are you?
I'm the processor doing the eviction.
Okay, do you guys have a lease agreement?
A lease agreement for eviction? You don't use lease agreements in eviction, man.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, yeah, you don't use a lease agreement for eviction. That's something between you and your landlord.
This is an eviction. When was the notice given?
It's posted on the door.
On the door when?
No lo recibimos, digo, pero lo que pasó fue que la compañía de esta casa vendió la casa y nunca nos avisaron que la vendieron y estaban recibiendo los pagos de nosotros y el nuevo dueño no estaba recibiendo nada y ya me dio.
Why he acting like he translating? She been speaking the whole. He's acting like he's translating what the dude just told her. They was just having a conversation.
El papel y todo.
¿Por qué no llamaste a la policía? When was this posted?
I don't know. I can call and find out.
Please
but
call
it's
and
posted.
find
I don't have to call. It's
Eso
posted.
es lo
You
que
said you can call and find out. I'm not trying to argue, but you just said you can call and find out. I want to know when, because I had no idea.
Okay, but you can see
That's for you to call and find out.
the attempts.
Está el 18 de noviembre.
Sí,
Now,
pero
let me explain to
nunca
you
la
what
vi,
these
no sé
pictures
si-
are.
Si el perro la agarró y la destrozó, como destroza todo, y entonces, pero resulta que esta es la nueva compañía.
Pero Ahí está, detrás de la puerta. Ahí.
Sí, ahí está, exacto. Pero yo no la encontré, yo no la recibí, pues yo no sabía nada. Entonces yo les hablé a la compañía y les pregunté que si
¿Por qué no me dijiste nada?
te dije, y ellos me dijeron que yo no tenía ninguna orden de eviction. Pero ¿sabes por qué lo hicieron? Porque ellos ya habían vendido la casa y querían recibir el dinero.
So they didn't, apparently, according to him, because he's the one who's renting, that they did not, that when he called, they didn't tell him that they were doing anything.
Yo también te puedo
Okay, well, I've already explained the situation to him, but I can explain it to
Nothing
you
else.
if you like.
Please do.
Now, who are you to him?
I am his stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter.
Yes.
Okay, here's the problem that he's in. He's in a very complicated problem. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly his fault, but if he had like took that notice and gone to court, he would have known what was going on. Or there's probably been mail coming to the house saying a foreclosure. Okay, this is what's happened. He rents from a company called. Okay, that's who he pays his rent to. That's who he deals with. Okay, owns the house. Got foreclosed on this house. So a new owner bought the house through foreclosure. From you didn't know this, he didn't know this. He's paying, but has lost the house.
Lost the house.
Right.
Oh wow.
So while he's steady paying them, they have already lost the house in court.
So why, I don't understand why we were still paying rent if they didn't even notice that they lost the house.
Well, that's on you. That's not on the new owner.
So they don't give us no kind of notice, they're just.
Wow. Right. It's the one, they lost the house. It's not their house anymore. So the situation you're in, of course, is you trying to say, well, we paid. But to this new owner, he's like, what's that have to do with me? I bought the house, lost the house in foreclosure. So I don't have anything to do with it. I don't collected money or rent or didn't pay.
Was there any way we can just kind of hold on, like, can we just gather our stuff?
Well,
we're talking to the new
okay. So here's the thing as far as getting your stuff. On the eviction, I can remove everyone from the house, not even let you own the property.
Oh
and
my
we
goodness.
move all the stuff out. But I don't do that. I allow people to come in. That's why I asked you who you were. If you want to go and start packing, you can.
That's very unfortunate. That is extremely unfortunate. This is one of the rare cases where it appears that the landlord is the sinister person in this situation, because that is crazy to have gone through a foreclosure. And so the landlord, it appears he was just taking that money and profiting and putting it in his pocket, even to the point to where he stopped paying the mortgage, possibly. And he was still pocketing the money. And then when this other person came and took the house over, the landlord was still collecting money from them. That is insane. And they're going to have to try to sue the original landlord, of course. But, you know, I think they have a good case. But it's kind of funny because when you try to go after the previous landlord's possible assets, I mean, the house is gone now. So that's going to be interesting. That I didn't know that could happen. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate things happen sometimes. Hopefully they're able to, correct that.
I was illegally evicted from my last apartment. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Grace, and if you know me, you know that I moved to New York City about 5 months ago, and I just recently moved to Harlem because I was illegally evicted from my last apartment. And I'm making this video because I want to warn literally everybody about the company that I leased with. So here we go. Back in about mid-January, I believe it was January 14th, I was notified by my leasing company, June Homes, that the landlord was repossessing my unit and that I had less than 2 weeks to find a new apartment, terminating my lease, or to relocate with them. Now, obviously, I am a full-time student with Steps on Broadway, and I work full-time. So I don't really have a lot of time to just go find a new apartment in Manhattan. So I immediately wrote back to them and I said, okay, thank you for letting me know. Can I see what my options are for relocation? And I immediately started looking out for brokers and new apartments. This company did not get back to me until over a week later with one option. And by that time, thank God, I found my new apartment in Harlem that I love. Got back to me and presented me with one option, and I had at this point told them, like, hey, actually, you know, under what lease provision is the landlord terminating my lease? And they came back at me and said, oh no, we don't want to terminate your lease, we want you to relocate, here's your option. And so I wrote back to them and I said, okay, under what provision of the lease are you able to force me to relocate? By the way, your lack of response time has forced me to find a new place, and this apartment that you are presenting me with is not comparable to my current apartment. So I demanded back my security deposit, and I also said I want financial reimbursement because I have to move in less than 14 days in Manhattan. So essentially what ends up happening is I'm dealing with this person with the leasing company, and they start dodging my emails and my calls because I'm demanding financial compensation and my security deposit back immediately because they are illegally evicting me from my apartment. And essentially what ended up happening is they did give me back my security deposit, and they told me that I was going to get $700 back as a reimbursement, which, first off, that's nowhere near what I should have gotten for the BS that they put me through. Second off, they did not end up giving me $700 back. They ended up giving me about $400 back because their financial team took some of that money out for utilities, which I believe should have been waived, but I didn't fight them on it, which is partially also why I'm making this video. So, if you or someone you know is trying to move to New York or is moving in the city, do not lease with June Homes. They are unprofessional, they are terrible communicators, and they do not take care of
Another unfortunate situation. Yeah, I mean, these leasing companies, they're not above anybody else. They can be terrible as well and have horrible business practices. And not only that, I mean, she was only trying to get $700 for the move. We're talking about New York here. That's a lot of moving companies go about an hour. She's in the city. They're going to be in traffic, as well as New York has these very complex buildings, possibly with stairways and just, you got to go up buildings, up a bunch of floors. It's not like the country where it's just 1 story, 2 story, or a house, or maybe even apartments are a little bit, more easier to navigate. So, yeah, I mean, that really sucks for her as well. It's like one horror story after the next.
Feeling good, but like I said, I'm nervous about this rental property, and so probably the best thing to do is get another rental management agency to take care and find the tenants for me and worry about maintenance and all of that, since I am a very busy person and I already have a lot on my plate and I have very limited help, like so yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to have to do, unfortunately, because I was trying to say that little bread, I was trying to say that, but I don't know. I got people calling me. One person already told me that they had bad credit. Another person told me they already got an eviction because they took over somebody else's lease and they didn't know that that was the right amount that they was going to be paying. The amount was higher than what they was told. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It's already sounding crazy. The one girl that said her credit is bad because she opened up a bunch of credit cards. She's young as hell and she's pregnant, but she got that voucher.
What a lot of people don't understand, you decide to take on these properties, you decide you want to be a real estate investor, that you just took on a whole nother job, more than a job in my opinion, and things can just pop up at any time, and you got to deal with it on the front end and on the back end. You know, right now she's talking about just trying to vet somebody to become possible tenants, and just how arduous that is, because whatever you decide on, that's going to be your decision, and you're going to have to live with that. You put the wrong person, you know, that decision can be the difference between tens of thousands of dollars. She said one of those people already had an eviction on their record, and they came up with some story trying to explain what it was, which I believe is probably made up anyway, but they were trying to justify it. Nah, man, when somebody got an eviction, take it for what it is. Don't try to hear the story. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole if I was her. There's too many other better candidates. Don't be the second one. But we're going to leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually does help out tremendously. Also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers. And basically what that does is, for smaller content creators like myself, it pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So all you do is press the hype button just like you press the like button, and it shows you the points. And because I am a smaller content creator, we actually get more points. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it as well. And then also, Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.